Now, as Trump settles back into the White House this week, global business and political leaders are gathering in Davos, Switzerland, for the World Economic Forum. To get a sense of the mood there this Tuesday, our business editor, Charles Pellegrin, joins us live on the programme. Charles, among the people who've been speaking today is the EU Commission chief, Ursula von der Leyen. And she did talk about Trump. She talked about the threats that he has made to raise tariffs. Tell us about what her message was and the kind of tone she had as well.
A rather conciliatory tone from von der Leyen there. She talked about being pragmatic while not giving up on European principles. It's important to note here that Donald Trump, in his first day or so in office, his major threats of tariffs have been directed towards Mexico and Canada, saying that as early as February 1st, potentially he could impose 25% tariffs on goods entering the United States from these two countries. With regards to Europe's, no direct threats in the last 24 or 48 hours. But in the campaign, there was talk of a blanket 10% tariff on all goods entering the United States. So that obviously would include the European Union. It's obviously a motive of concern for Europe and European businesses. Over 500 billion euros worth of goods are exported from the European Union to the United States last year. So von der Leyen really wanted to make a bit of a contrast with Trump there and really reiterated the European Union's commitment to free trade, which is a really part of the DNA of the European project. And she touted the deals that the bloc made recently with the South American trade group, Mercosur, with Mexico, with Switzerland, for instance. And with regards to the United States and relationships with the Trump administration, well, she said that the U.S. remains an important partner, but Brussels will hedge its bets in a way, and it's decided that it will. She said that it will look to improve ties with other parts of the world, notably China.
Well, speaking of China, Charles, another voice who's been speaking out just today at Davos against tariffs is the Chinese vice premier.
That's right. Ding Xuexiang actually took to the stage not long after Ursula von der Leyen, and he had a similar message with regards to free trade. He said, protectionism leads nowhere, and there are no winners in a trade war. And that message is obviously sent to Trump, who's threatened to increase tariffs even more on Chinese goods, especially recently with regards to the TikTok saga, saying that if China doesn't accept his proposal of a 50-50 deal on the ownership of TikTok, then potentially he could slap more tariffs on Chinese goods. But that message from the Chinese was also directed at the European Union, who in the past year or so has imposed tariffs of its own on Chinese goods, notably green tech goods, notably electric vehicles, on the assumption that there is unfair competition, that Chinese subsidies to green tech sectors are unfair to its European rivals. So China, they're really keen to defend free trade, both in the face of the U.S. and the European Union. And the context here for China, though, is that its growth is stalling. Its domestic consumer demand is really slow. They're battling deflation almost. So all of their eggs, all their economic eggs in the basket are in the export sector, and that's the one that's really driving the economy right now. So they want to make sure there aren't as little obstacles in the way of Chinese exports as possible.